Hello and welcome to day 28 of my 31 Days of Horror. I'm Joey Hollywood, and I watched another two movies today, this time Sinister and Sinister 2. Now, I saw the first Sinister a long time ago, and I kind of had a love-hate relationship with it. I'll get into that in a minute, but those feelings have not changed. I just want to say, though, I feel like what this movie does right, it does so well that I can't go out of my way and call it a bad movie. But there is something about this movie, and I'll get into that in a minute, that pisses me off every time I've seen it. Now, let me get into the things I like about this movie. I like the characters. I like the building of suspense. I like what I thought the mystery was going to be. I think it builds very well. And one of the things that sticks out to me out of all these like ghost movies that have come out in recent years, or even around this time period, is the lighting. I love that everything is so dark, realistically dark, not like too dark. If there's a light coming out of a flashlight, that's the light in the scene. And I think it creates a very spooky atmosphere. The plot of this movie revolves around a true horror writer that is doing an investigation on a murder that happened in the house that he's moving into. While he's there, he finds a box of Super 8s in his garage, and he starts watching them, and much to his surprise, it's full of snuff films, murder films, of not only the people who lived in the house previously, but going back into the 1960s and beyond. These snuff films are the creepiest part of the movie. They know what to show and what not to show. There is no sound, there is just weird music that sounds like it could be organically from the Super 8, and it creates, it's the creepiest part of the movie is when Ethan Hawke is just sitting in the chair watching these things. Now we're going to get into the thing I don't like about this movie, and I'm going to try to dance around the spoilers. I hate the ending of this movie. I absolutely despise it. And I guess you could say it's my fault for giving the movie too much credit or something like that. I hate being ahead of the characters in a story, and I think what I hate more than that is being ahead of a character in a story and not realizing that I'm ahead of them. There's a big reveal at the end of the movie, and it's such an obvious thing that I was really shocked that Ethan Hawke didn't already know. Matter of fact, I was growing frustrated because he was doing something that I already figured out was a trope, and it really kills the movie for me. It really, if it had a better ending, I'd watch this movie more often. And that's kind of my main beef with the movie, is it's so good, it deserves a better ending. Or if at least, and the thing is, the way it ends, it has to end that way, but I just hate that the character was so stupid that he didn't see it coming. It annoys me to hell, and it pisses me off every time I see this thing. And I've actually never seen the sequel till today. This movie stars a side character in the first movie. The first movie, he was not given a name. He was credited as Deputy, and everyone in the movie called him Deputy So-and-so. And that is carried on into this movie, where the main character, Deputy So-and-so, is never called by name. In fact, in the end credits, he's credited as ex-Deputy So-and-so. I thought that was really funny. And here's the thing. I feel that the first movie did a lot more right than it did wrong. And this movie does the opposite. It does a lot more wrong than it does right. It really ruins the mystery behind the Super 8 footage and the demon that's controlling the children. It demystifies it. It makes it kind of boring. And let me tell you, any scene with children in this movie is horrendous. It's absolutely awful. It's trying to, from what I've been told, it wanted to be like a Children of the Corn type thing, but with Super 8 footage, and it didn't work. The children are annoying, and it's so... You know what the scariest thing in this movie is? It's one shot of an abusive father shoving food in a kid's face. That's the scariest thing in this movie. It was the only thing that made me legitimately jump. And the only thing I really liked about the movie was ex-Deputy So-and-so. I thought he was a very likable main character. A very odd choice for a main character, too. And I kind of wish that this movie was better because I found him so entertaining. But I just hated everything else. I hated all the supernatural crap. I don't know. I didn't like this movie. The movie picks up some months after, I think 6 months to a year after the first one. And Deputy So-and-so is trying to hunt down the demon. But it's not all that interesting, especially when we get down to the actual, I guess, haunting of it. I think we spend too much time with the children, and the children are not very good actors, and I honestly just don't care about anything that's going on in it. It raises too many questions, and maybe it doesn't contradict the first movie, but it makes the first movie make less sense. I don't know, I really didn't like Sinister 2, and to be honest, I really hope they don't make a third one. I think the first movie is okay. It's a decent ghost or haunted house movie, and I think if you want to watch it, just leave it at that first one. Don't bother with the second one. Frustrating ending and all, I feel like the first Sinister does a lot right. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow in day 29 of my 31 Days of Horror.